At the beginning of our story today, we meet two people who have taken a boat and are sailing in the sea to enjoy their vacation. We notice how drunk they are and have no idea where the boat is taking them. After a while, when they sober up, they don't know exactly where they are. The only thing clear in front of them is the island, so they don't think much. They decide to go to this island not knowing what's happening there or what awaits them, and they have no other option. The two of them reach the island and don't find anyone at the shore, so the man ties up the boat and the woman decides to enter the forest to look for someone to help them. At some point, while the man is busy at the shore, the woman walks alone in the forest looking for any people living on the island. It occurs to her that if they reach any settlement with people, those people might help them. As she walks, she finds in front of her an establishment surrounded by a fence designed to keep people out. There are also experimental tools in the place, and it's not clear exactly what these tools do. At that moment, she feels they don't need more problems, so she turns around and goes back. But after a while, she starts hearing strange sounds coming from the bushes, and it seems like the sound of something strange buzzing near her, so she thinks it's a wild animal and runs towards the shore, scared to reach her lover. But over time, she finds that the sound of this creature is increasing from all directions, which makes her even more afraid, so she screams and calls for her lover, but she ends up going deeper into the forest. And of course, it's hard for her voice to reach him at the shore. Suddenly, a huge creature with indistinct features attacks her, grabs her by the legs, and swings her side to side. As it drags her away, she feels helpless. As he drags her quickly, she gets scratched all the way. This shows that the creature has sharp and violent teeth. When her screams finally reach her lover, he runs towards her into the forest. But then he disappears, and no one knows what happens to them. In the next scene, we see a group of friends going to an island to enjoy their vacation. They travel by private plane, which includes two brothers named Matt and John, along with their friends Noah, Sarah, and Nan, who is Matt's girlfriend. After realizing they have a lot of free time, they decide to go on a week-long trip to the island. And where Matt and John's uncle was living, after hours of travel, they finally arrive. And we realize then that this is the same island we saw at the beginning of the film, and of course I don't need to tell you, my dear, that what will happen to them is unimaginable, and when they look around they feel that this place is completely deserted. But Matt and John explain to them that a long time ago many people used to live here before they gradually started moving to the new cities. But their uncle's house is still there, so they decide to stay. After settling in, the two brothers go to the garage and find many tools along with their uncle's car, which turns out to be intact and in very good condition. They are even able to drive it after some minor repairs. This news makes them very happy, even though they miss their uncle. And since there is no electricity on the island, they try to start the generator. At that time, Noah and Sarah are sitting in the kitchen preparing drinks, but then they discover that the blender isn't working. This means they won't be able to make the juice they want. Matt and John keep trying. In the end, they manage to start the motor. As soon as the electricity works, the blender starts and Sarah begins making the drinks, but this excitement doesn't last long. That's because the electricity goes out again. Even Noah doesn't understand why this is happening, so he guesses that maybe the fuse downstairs is burnt. He and Sarah go down to see what the problem is, but they find it dark and nothing is visible, and Noah lights the lighter to see better. Then they move around the area quietly. There, Noah finds an old bottle of wine placed on the shelf, and it looks very old. Since this aged wine is considered very valuable, Noah and Sarah get extremely excited and think they can use it after their drinks run out. Then they find the fuse, which is completely burnt out. After replacing it with a new one, the electricity returns to the house. After finishing breakfast, everyone goes out to enjoy themselves outside. We see John, Matt's brother, practicing shooting. And that's because he loves this sport even though he's not skilled at it at all. Everyone is sitting happily. Suddenly, they find a small dog appearing out of nowhere, and Sarah, Nan, and everyone take it, play with it, feed it, find it very cute, and decide to keep it with them. At night, they go inside the house and start drinking, but after a while, all the drinks they brought run out. At that time, Noah remembers the bottle of wine in the basement, so he goes down without telling anyone and comes back with a bottle. He is very happy and tells them it's very valuable and they should enjoy every sip of it, but neither Noah nor any of them have any idea about the disasters awaiting them. Strangely, when they are about to drink from it, the little dog keeps staring intently at the bottle and starts barking. Suddenly, it runs. The forest and his style show that there is something wrong with the liquor, but despite the warning, the youth drink it casually without thinking much. And of course, they will face very difficult consequences. And Sarah, because she got very attached to this little dog, goes out to look for it. John follows her to help. After a while, they find the dog scared and hiding among the plants. But as soon as Sarah approaches it, suddenly a huge wild dog jumps and attacks her, knocking her to the ground. And that jump makes John fall as well. And then the dog bites Sarah on her legs and starts dragging her away. but John intervenes and makes the dog scared and back off. At that moment, the small dog disappears into the bushes. And Sarah is badly injured, so John takes her back home and treats the wound. When Matt and John talk about the dog bite and how it's poisonous and could kill her, they agree to return to the city as soon as possible so Sarah can go to the hospital and get proper treatment. But Sarah refuses and doesn't want to ruin their vacation because of the incident that happened to her. After many discussions, everyone agrees to leave after a while and they underestimate this virus. Sarah tells them she doesn't feel that sick. After agreeing to stay for a few days, everyone goes to sleep. From that moment, the difficult events start happening to them, literally setting up their end. At night, John is walking around the house and notices Sarah standing at the window in the other direction. Her demeanor clearly shows that something strange is happening, so John goes to her. When he calls her, Sarah looks at him strangely, walks towards him, and bites him. John pushes her to snap her out of it, not understanding what's happening to her. Then Sarah speaks in a very strange way and walks away. John is still trying to figure out what just happened. And the next morning, Sarah continues to act strangely and eats in a suspicious way like animals. She also takes Noah's cake violently and eats it in one bite. Meanwhile, the rest of their friends try to enjoy the vacation. At that moment, John goes out and tells them he's going to practice archery, but this time he intends to go hunting an animal. He calls his brother Matt and suggests he come along, and Matt agrees. And when Noah sees this, he decides to go with them too. So all the guys head to the forest to hunt. Nin tells them she'll stay at the house with Sarah until they return. Then the guys enter the forest, very excited and expecting to see many animals. But after walking for a while, they don't find any animals. They are very surprised since there are not even birds or insects around. And that's something almost impossible to happen in the forest. After that, Noah starts to get bored and sits aside to check his camera. And that's because he believes that photography is very important and considered a pastime. But while he's cleaning his camera, he suddenly hears a strange sound, so he looks around and finds many dogs approaching him, and they seem to be very unusual dogs. When they start surrounding him from different directions, Noah gets scared and starts running in fear, stumbling on the ground until he finally reaches his friends. When John and Matt ask him why he's running like that, Noah